For Sequoia Creek, hole 5, this works with an APOC. If you have an APOC 4 only, you're going to want to probably bump it up to a power 4 ball. But here with an APOC 5 or greater, you're going to aim at the center of the tree, and then you're going to adjust your shot at 0% elevation at max distance of your club, and then push up to max. When you have a left to right tailwind, you are going to use triangle curl, and when you have a right to left tailwind, you're going to use just outside triangle curl. So basically you're going to have to kind of play this by feel. It is a very much play by feel with the curl on this hole, but just know your curl is always going to be around the triangle curl. The higher the wind, the less topspin that you need. So just remember that when you have wind up into the 12-mile-an-hour wind, you're going to have to back off the topspin, otherwise you will go long. This makes for an easy chip. If you're on the chipping distance, it just plays normal, no spring end bringer rules. I just played this at the 25% mark of my end bringer and the 20% over adjustment of the shot. So again, the chip is fairly straightforward and fairly easy when you are there. Here we have another tailwind. I do not know how an extra mile plays. I know the aim spot is different, but you can blast it with an extra mile too, but you just don't have the curl like an APOC does. With an APOC 5 or greater, you're going to aim at the center of the tree, adjust at max distance with a 0% elevation, and then push your rings up to max. Here I did 2 bars of a right spin and about 5 or 6 bars of top spin. You don't need a lot of top spin for this blast shot. So just remember that APOC 6, you can just use full top spin for this shot. If it gets more above the 9-mile-an-hour range, you do want to back off that top spin. Here, since it's not a solid left to right tailwind, like a more prominent left to right tailwind, I did go outside triangle curl. So remember, your curl is going to be based on the direction of the wind and the strength of the wind. So it's usually around the triangle curl. For the headwind, I play this like we did in the tournament. You can use a rock for this. You can use any driver of your choosing for this shot. You're going to do max right spin and 1 bar of backspin. No matter what ball you are using, just use about a bar of backspin. My blue ring is usually touching the rough on the back, and then I'm going to over adjust my shot at max distance with a 0% elevation. So even though my club is not at max, I still play it at max distance. So again, 1 bar of backspin, max right spin, you're kind of aiming basically straight forward, and then just take a normal shot. When the shot is a headwind, I do play this at 25% over adjustment of my shot at min distance of my club, just like we did in the tournament, and it equals to be 1-to-1 or 1 wind per ring. So I played this 13 rings basically, since the wind was 13 miles an hour. If it's a tailwind, I do move my ball or my target over to the left and play on the fairway and bounce my ball guide over to the hole with a plus 20% over adjustment of my shot. So I do not risk the rough bump in a tailwind because you just don't have a lot of room to work with when it comes to the tailwind scenario. So in a headwind, you're going to use 25% over adjustment of your shot at min distance, and then in a tailwind you're just going to move over to the left and play a 20% over adjustment of your shot and just bounce down to the hole. Hopefully this guide helps you guys out. Remember, hit perfect and happy golfing.